So let's talk about it. We are on the road to WrestleMania. WrestleMania 40, WrestleMania XL is only a few short days away, taking place in the birthplace of the Extreme, the birthplace of many top promotions, Philadelphia. And if you don't know, if you are part of the uninitiated, WrestleMania has gone down in Philadelphia before. That would be WrestleMania 15 on March 28th, 1999 at the First Union Center, which is now the Wells Fargo Center. What was the main event of that show? Well, it was there were two main events. We had the Undertaker versus the Big Boss Man in the Hell in a Cell match, and we had Rock, Stone Cold in a no DQ match with Mankind as the special guest referee for the WWF Championship. So let's talk about that show, because it is widely regarded as one of the worst WrestleManias. It falls right in the lower end of WrestleManias. So let's talk about it. What were the stories going into WrestleMania? Well, first we had Road Dogg and Billy Gunn, the New Age Outlaws, who were trying their hands at singles gold, and Billy Gunn had failed to win the Intercontinental Championship. Road Dogg became hardcore champion until he lost it due to injury. So that leads us to our match. We'll get into that a little bit later. Other stories that we had was the Brawl for All. Oh my goodness. Butterbean, Bart, Gunn. It was just bad. I don't know why you thought in an actual shoot fight Bart Gunn would defeat Butterbean, and Butterbean knocked his ass out. It was bad. We also had things coming out of Survivor Series with Mankind and The Rock. We had Ryan Shamrock, aka Alicia Webb. Something going on with Venis and Dustin Rhodes. There was so much stuff going on that is very, very hard to get into all of it. But let's talk about WrestleMania 15. The tagline was the Raging Climax. That is a horrible, horrible, horrible tagline. The sponsor was M&M's. The attendance, 19,514. Boys to Men sang the America the Beautiful. We had a bunch of other celebrity guests on the show: Pete Rose, Butterbean, Vinny Pazienza, Chuck Wepner, Kevin Rooney, Isaac Hayes, and Big Pun. Our commentators were Michael Cole, Jarrett King Lawler, and Jim Ross. Ring announcer was Howard Finkel. Referees: Mike Chioda, Earl Hebner, Jim Corderas, Teddy Long, Tim White. You guys know all of their names. Carlos Cabrera and Hugo Savanovich were the Spanish commentators, and the interviewer was Kevin Kelly. So let's talk about these matches. We opened up with Hardcore Holly defeating Al Snow and Billy Gunn to win the Hardcore Championship. This was whatever. The Hardcore Championship wasn't what it was. It wasn't what it was that we came to know it to be. So it was a whatever match. Then we had a tag team match that went under 5 minutes. No matches should be going under 5 minutes on WrestleMania. Jeff Jarrett and Owen Hart took on D'Lo Brown and Tess. Jeff Jarrett and Owen Hart had Debra as their manager. D'Lo Brown and Tess had Ivory as their manager. And what was the reason for this match? It took place on the pre-show. Was weird. Was very, very where it didn't take place on the pre-show, but something happened on Sunday Night Heat with Jacqueline, and Jacqueline had pinned Ivory, and then Terry Reynolds burned a cigar into Ivory's cheek, and it was just stupid. Like, if you go back and look at the Attitude Era stuff, a lot of it was just stupid. Then we had the Brawl for All with Butterbean knocking out Bart Gunn in 35 seconds. Yeah. Like, I whoever thought it was a good idea should be fired. Well, actually, that man is going now. He who shall not be named. Then we had winner gets to referee the main event match. Mankind defeating Paul White by DQ. Paul White, aka the Big Show. And he won by DQ. Big Show was just throwing chairs in the ring and just beating the holy hell out of Mankind with them. Mr. Mag made his way to the ring, berating Big Show for risking the championship match because, you know, there was something going on. DQ. Then we had the Intercontinental Championship with Road Dogg retaining in an elimination match, defeating Goldust, Ken Shamrock, and Venis. This match went 10 minutes. Yeah, it was a weird thing. It was stuff going on with whatever. Then we had something a little, I don't know, Kane versus Triple H, with Kane winning by DQ. None of these matches are good. None of these matches are good. Chyna was with Kane at this point, and then she turned on Kane. Zandio Chicken was there, who was Pete Rhodes, and Chyna ended up turning, joining DX. Just stupid and bad. Sable defeated Tori to retain the women's championship. It wasn't good because neither one of these women were actually good. Nicole Bass made her debut, allowing Sable to retain the championship. Then we had Shane McMahon retaining the European Championship, defeating X-Pac. And this wasn't horrible. Shane McMahon had no reason looking that good in the ring. It was odd. Tess got involved, Chyna got involved, like it was high quality Attitude Era madness. Then we had the Hell in a Cell match between the Undertaker and Big Boss Man. We all remember it for one reason and one reason only: the Undertaker hanging the Big Boss Man from the steel cage in the noose. Bad, weird. And it's one of the worst Hell in a Cell matches that we have ever seen. The Big Boss Man was a legitimate badass. It just didn't work, and it's almost as bad as the Kennel from Hell match. You see, I'm so apoplectic about this. And then the main event, Rock, Stone Cold. And when I tell you, shenanigans abound. Shenanigans abound. So Mick Foley was the special guest referee. Jim Ross was help calling the match. I don't know what to say. This was hands down the best match on the card by a country mile. And it can't save the pay-per-view because it definitely didn't save the pay-per-view, but it got some of the bad taste out of your mouth. WrestleMania 15 is not a good WrestleMania. It just isn't. Because you know what's worse about WrestleMania 15 being bad? WrestleMania 16 the following year was actually good. And it had a bunch of really good matches on it. So WrestleMania could only go up from there. It went up for a bit and there was some ups and downs, but when we go back and look at WrestleMania 15, great buy rate, sellout, but it just wasn't good. We had short matches. Here's the thing. Only 2 matches went over 10 minutes, and one of them ended in a DQ. The Hell in a Cell match didn't go over 10 minutes. It's a Hell in a Cell match. So when we go back and look at WrestleMania 15, we talk about it. We're not going to have good things to say about it. We're going to remember it for two things. Rock Stone Cold, Taker hanging Big Boss Man. That is it. I am hoping, praying that WrestleMania 40, 25 years later, will be much, much better.